Hey, this is Lee from Play Guitar Academy. I help frustrated guitar players get back to getting better at the guitar. We're going to talk about ninth chords today, in particular three kinds: the ninth, the major ninth, and the minor ninth. Let's talk about the ninth. When you see something written C9, it is just like a seventh chord. When you see C7, that means dominant seventh or a flat seventh chord. I don't know how it got to be that way, but that's standard. So when you see C7, it means you have a flat seventh, a dominant seventh chord. Same thing with the ninth. When you see a C9, that means you have a dominant seventh chord with a ninth on top of it. And we're going to show all of the notes and how to make that in just a second. But then you see something called a major ninth chord. It's the same thing as a major seventh chord. Everything's straight from the major scale. So a major ninth would have a C, E, G, B, D. No alterations. We're not flatting or sharpening anything. So a major ninth comes right from there. And then the minor ninth, just like the minor seventh chord, has the minor seventh, C, E flat, G, B flat, and then the D. I'm going to take the shape of an F. This is what we're going to build on. Now I'm going to play as a C. I'm going to play it up at the 8th fret. But it's that shape of the F on the top 4 strings, not the bar chord F that everyone struggles with, the one that you played before. So your first finger is barring the top 2 strings, the E and the high E and the B, and then your second finger is 1 fret up on the G string, and then your third finger is 1 fret up on the D string. Most of us have played this before. Now I'm going to play to keep this all in C to make it easy. I'm going to play this up at the 8th fret. Okay, so here is our C major chord, and it's in the shape just like the half of an F chord. And we're going to take this shape and we're going to go through all of the different ninths. In this section, the major ninth, the minor ninth, and the dominant ninth, and just make very small changes to it. Okay, so when we talked about the major ninth chord, we had a C, an E, a G, and then we had a B. That's a major seventh. And then to make it a ninth, we would use a D note. Okay, so somehow from this chord, we need to add a B note and a D note. Okay, we'll start from our triad. Well, we know that we can get rid of our root note. It's not so important. And the B, the seventh, is directly behind it. So I'm going to take my third finger that's on the D string and lower it 1. Now we're into major seventh territory. That added our major seventh. If you wanted to put a note on the low E string at C, there we go. Okay, so there's our major seventh. Now, to make it a ninth chord, we have to add a D. Well, we have a D right here on the 10th fret on the high E string where my pinky is. And it will cover up another one of our root notes, which is one of the notes that we can leave out. At this point, we've taken the low note of that F and lowered it 1, and the high note of that F chord and raised it a whole step, 2 frets. And we have our major ninth chord. It's very pretty. How does it function? It functions just like the seventh chord, the major seventh. But when you add that ninth, you hear the difference? Very pretty sound. Our next chord is going to be a minor ninth. So let's start with our F shape again. Okay? And in a minor ninth chord, we're going to have a first, a flat third, a fifth, a flat seventh, and then the ninth. So that in the key of C, that would be C, E flat. So I'm going to take my third here and lower it 1. Okay. So, and then we have a G. And then a B flat. Or I'll lower it down there. Get rid of the root down there. And then the D. So what I've done is I've taken my lowest note on that F shape, lowered it down 2, so that's my root going to the flat 7th. On the G string, I'm going to lower that 1. That's my 3rd going to a minor 3rd. 5th stays the same, and then the D covers up the root note on the top string. So basically, you're barring at the 8th fret with your pinky 2 frets up on the high E string. So here's just a minor chord, minor 7th. Here's a minor 9th. And here's another place you could play a minor 9th down here. Very neat sounding chord. Functions just like a minor 7th chord, but a very different quality. Let's try to take our regular old F shape here up at the 8th fret, and we're going to make a 9th chord, meaning a dominant 9th chord. So we're going to take our C, E, G, B flat, and then we also need a D. There's 2 ways you could do this. You could take your root note and lower it down 2 to get our flat 7th in there, our B flat, and then take your root note on the high string and raise it 2 to get the 9th. So we basically got rid of both of the roots, but we also can get rid of the 5th as well. So we could take get our flat 7th on the low string, keep our 3rd the same, and then on the B string where we have our G, we can raise that up to a B flat, and then use our 3rd finger to get our D on the high string to give a very, very different sound. Okay, you can always do the James Brown chord because that's the same chord. It's a 9th, a C9, which means a dominant 9th. So just from taking a chord shape that we know, changing a few of the notes, and plugging in our 9th and changing the qualities of maybe the 3rd, or omitting the 5th or whatever, we can get some different sounds from a very easy chord shape. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, learning all about 9th chords. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out on any of this stuff. I put stuff out every week. I've got a free gift for you. It's a bunch of 9th chord diagrams. You can head over to playguitargroup.com. That's our Facebook group, and I'll have them right there for you as soon as you sign up. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you on the next video.